In the Spanish Football League, rivalries are considered especially dangerous. In the case of these two teams, they're not doing this just for domestic supremacy, but for European glory. These are their stories. What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and welcome back to the Basque Boys. As always, if you are still enjoying the series, please do go and drop it a like. Now, today we got ourselves the Vasco Derby in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. But before we get to that, we did play a few matches in the La Liga season, so let's see how we did with that. And since our last episode, we were able to take 7 points from our next 3 matches, with our only dropped points being against Atletico Madrid, which, as you would expect, they played us extremely tough throughout. Following the intermatch, we took on Malaga, beat them by the score of 3-1. Villalibre getting himself a brace, Iker Muniain getting on the score sheet as well. He was also on the score sheet in Atletico Madrid, getting the opening goal for us in the 15th minute. But it was a tale of two halves, really. We were really dominant in the first half, and Atletico Madrid were very dominant in the second, able to tie the match up in the 71st minute, equaling the spoils on the day. But then we kicked back off against Almeria, getting a 2-0 win at home. Beñat Iturraspe on the score sheet. Iturraspe not going to be featuring today because he picked up a bruised chest, which is very unfortunate because he is one of my dominant defensive mids, and not having him against Sociedad is going to be a big loss. And even though we secured 7 points, we dropped down into 4th place behind Real Madrid. Yes, we're even on points. We're even on goal difference, but it all comes down to head-to-head results, and Real Madrid beat us both times this season. But the gap between us and Sevilla is 14 points, which means that we need to lose every single one of our matches from here on out to drop out of Champions League placements, which I don't see us doing. At this point in time, it's all about, can we get into Champions League proper, or are we going to settle for 4th place and have to play through the playoff? Because as it stands right now, Champions League football almost assured for next season. Right, so let's get to the first leg of this Europa League quarterfinals. We're traveling to San Sebastian to take on Real Sociedad, and this is the formation that we're going to be using, sticking with the 4-2-3-1 defensive that we used versus Inter, and I feel like the defensive mindedness is absolutely necessary going against Sociedad. A little side note, we have not beaten them at all this season, and our record versus them through this series has not been very stellar, so I feel like if we try to exact more defensive tactics, we could possibly come away with some sort of result versus them. And since we're away from home first, all the better. Lineup's going to be as follows: Ruffier in net, Leque, Laporte, Garcia, Isma Lopez along the back line. San Jose and Marino as the 2 defensive mids. The 3 attacking mids of Herveas, Susaeta, Iker Muniain, of course Villalibre sitting up top. Yes, as you can notice, there's a couple of names in there that have not started in a while. I'm giving them a chance away from home, and if that doesn't work out, I'll use my proper starting 11 back in the second leg. But we'll see how this goes. Let's go kick off and hope for the best. 14 minutes on now. Sociedad have not had a lot of the ball. In fact, they haven't taken many shots. Oh my god, if they would have gotten their first goal off of their first shot on target, I would have been fuming. Free kick, top of the box, and right into the back of the net. Ruben Pardo, untouched. It didn't even touch the wall, and I don't believe Ruffier even got a hand to it. Real Sociedad have the lead after 31 minutes. At least it wasn't an open play, but conceding a free kick at the top of the box is almost a death sentence when it comes to playing in this game. And as you can see right there, very deadly was Ruben Pardo. So we come to halftime, and once again, the tale of the tape is everybody that is sitting in a forward position is doing garbage, whereas everyone behind them is doing fairly decent. Look at those 6'4s, Villalibre, Muniain, Susaeta. It's just not been a good day trying to get the ball up to the top. So I feel what we're going to do is we're going to move one of our midfielders up in Marino, and I don't think he's a ball-winning mid. We should probably put him as a deep-line playmaker on support. So we'll try that, have 1 defensive mid, 1 proper center mid, and hope that this goes through. Because, boys, it's just not been good. It's just not been working for us on this day. Corner kick for us. Pablo Herveas gets it into the far post, cleared out, but Marino is right there. If he could swing it back in, Muniain takes a shot, but saved very easily by Rulli. Goes out for another corner. And once you know it, as soon as I make all 3 of my subs, Villalibre gets himself injured. This just can't get any worse. We are down to our last 2 minutes, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any sort of attack off. There it is, full time. Sociedad 1, Athletic Club 0. Our woes continue versus Sociedad. It's just it's just not been good throughout the entirety of my time versus Sociedad. I'm far from pleased, continue to be far from pleased with what I see out of this team whenever we take on Sociedad. Villalibre injured, how bad is it? Okay, it's a dead leg, so he's only out for 2 days. He'll be back in the next match versus Sociedad, but we do have a match versus Celta. Let's go check the recap of that and see how we do there. Will it get us automatic Champions League qualifications? Possibly should, probably could. And against Celta, I opted to barely change the side this time, making only 1 or 2 changes, opting to keep the gel that has held us together throughout the entirety of the season to get the victory. And that's exactly what we did, coming away with a 5-2. 4 different goal scorers, especially with John Batista getting himself a brace. As I said before, Batista's not a bad striker. It's just that Villalibre has forced my hand coming up into the first team and scoring goals at will that relegated Batista to be on the bench. And to be honest with you, it's not a bad option to have on the bench. He can score once every other game, much like Villalibre. So if I have to swap him out, it's not like I'm taking a huge hit, a huge downgrade to the squad. But anyway, we got ourselves automatic Champions League football for next season. Now it all comes down to, will it be the playoffs or will it be automatically group stage? Right, so it's time for the second leg. It's back at the San Mamés, and as you can clearly see, we have changed the formation up. We're back to the 4-3-3. Now you're probably wondering, why are we going back to this formation? Well, it's a formation that did very well for us over last season and at the start of this season before I switched up to the 4-2-3-1, so I feel like going back to this and going back to being a little bit more controlling, we can take over this game and get the necessary goals that'll see us through to the quarterfinals. So, that being said, lineup's going to be as follows with a couple of changes because Lecque is suspended, so is San Jose. So here we go. Ruffier in net, Echeverria, Garcia, Laporte, and Isma Lopez along the back line. The 3 mids of Beñat, Eraso, and Marino. The wingers will be Munain and Susaeta, of course, sitting up top. Mr. Free Village, Villalibre. We need 2 goals. That's what it is. We're only down 1-0. We just need 2 goals and prevent them from scoring an away goal, and we got this in the bag. Simple, right? I wish it was that simple. But anyway, guys, let's go kick off, see what happens. Telling the players that it's only essentially halftime, that we can come back in this match and come away with a win seems to have got them on the right foot, has got them riled up and ready to go get some goals. Let's see if it'll actually happen. 6 minutes on now, throw in, ball into the box, Villalibre to Susaeta. It's a deflected goal and Susaeta gets himself on the score sheet. It's 1-1 on aggregate. Susaeta, I didn't see how many goals he scored this year. It's been quite a lot. But honestly, this is probably as lucky a goal as you can see. Villalibre to Susaeta. That was never an on-target shot, but the deflection from the defender puts it into the back of the net, and we got ourselves a tie. To Munain, we have been very dominant, controlling this game and making sure that it's going our way. There we go. And Asier Villalibre, with his 22nd goal of the season, has put us in the lead on the tie. It's 2-0 on the day, 2-1 on aggregate. The job is not finished. It's still only 13 minutes into this match. There's plenty of football left to play, but the way I'm seeing this team has just been absolutely dominant. Cleared out. Susaeta really needs to put in a tackle. Theo Walcott. That was Theo Walcott for Sociedad. What? Is that a loan move or is that a full transfer? Theo Walcott loaned to Sociedad from Arsenal. Not something I would have ever seen. Halftime, and since that second goal, it's been very nervy for us. Yes, we've had more of the shots. We've had 65% possession, but I feel that every single time that Sociedad have the ball, it's a lightning quick counter, and they get the ball on net. At least a couple of times, but they're just taking shots every single time that they get the ball just to try and get back into this match. Something that we need to close down going forward. So second 45, boys. You're doing well, but be mindful at the back. I may drop it from control to counter somewhere down the line just to prevent any sort of dumb balls over the top. Free kick into the box. Munain. It's in the middle. Susaeta had it tackled off of him. Munain into the middle. Take a shot. Susaeta again. Rulli. Geronimo Rulli playing out of his skin in front of net right now, denying us that third goal. And another corner comes in, but this time around it's just cleared away. Ivan Ramos has just went through Asier Villalibre, and he gets a straight red card. So Sociedad are down to 10 men, not even 5 minutes into this half. Benyat, free kick, 25 yards out. So for the next 40 minutes, we have ourselves a man advantage. We cannot mess this up now. Crossing fingers, the defense knows what to do. Ball out to the wing. Ismael Lopez has to play it back to Laporte as we're trying to find some space out on the wings. Arasso to Echeverria. Several red shirts in the box. Javier Arasso gets the 3rd goal of the match. It's only his 3rd goal of the season, but this should effectively put this game on ice now. 3-1 on aggregate. Yes, we still have, 34 minutes left in the match, but we are in complete control. We are absolutely dominating Sociedad today, and I just don't see them coming back into it. We may have just booked our ticket into the semifinals. Free kick, Benyat getting into the box. It's a foul from Sead Kalashnik. I remember that name from my West Ham save last year. And also Remy Cabella on a yellow as well. Guess what, guys? It's penalty time, and I obviously have no idea who's taking the penalty. Benyat! Free kick specialist Benyat's taking the penalty. At this point in time, it doesn't matter if it goes in or stays out. Would have liked to have gone in, though. I mean, let's be honest here. If you're choosing between a penalty to go up 4-1 and missing it and still being in control in 3-1, I'd love the 4-1. Not saying that, being in control is bad, but more goals the better. But anyway, Munain's going to be coming out for Pablo Hervea, 2nd sub in this game. Still 29 minutes left to go. Blocked by Marino, and we can hit him on the break. Villalibre up the wings. He does have a couple of red shirts in the box. He finds Pablo Hervea, who is just subbed on. And there we go. There's the nail in the coffin. Athletic 4, Sociedad 1. And we are booking our tickets to the semifinals of the Europa League. And in grand fashion, just like how we did against Inter Milan to get to this stage. We're absolutely doing the business in the 2nd leg. Absolutely ecstatic that the team has finally come together against Sociedad. And while we couldn't have done this in the league, we did it in the 2nd leg of the Europa League. 4-0, 4-1 on aggregates. Congratulations, boys. This is going to be a passionate one. I am very happy with the result and how everybody played. This was a stellar victory up and down the list. And yes, the red card did help. Not going to lie, the red card did help out in this 4-1 victory. But hey, we get ourselves through against our rivals to the semifinals. Now, let's take a look and see who we're going to face in the semifinals. And not only that, we also get €1 million for making it this far. So the semifinal draw sees us, Milan, Porto, and West Ham in it. Oh man, we have the chance to take on a 3rd Italian team in this competition. What is the draw going to say? We will be taking on Milan. 3rd Italian team in this draw. And we're going to be taking them on at home first. Oh, jeez. We couldn't have gotten enough Italy in this save, especially in the season. But now we go and draw the 3rd Italian team. Oh, and you can rest assured that that defensive formation is going to get some more playtime versus this Italian team. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as it was for me filming it, taking on the rival, and finally beating them this time around. Was ecstatic. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please go and hit that like button, share and subscribe as well. Comment below on what you thought about the episode or the series as a whole. But anyway, guys, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.